All right, so you kind of move around the area, kind of clear it up. The altar is very ornate. Has a interesting carving on the top of the actual altar itself, which is in sort of a shape of a shield with a sign of Helm in the center of it, and there's runes that are kind of etched around the symbol of Helm.
Can I read those?
You can try. They don't appear to be any language that you're familiar with.
Oh. I'll try.
Okay.
Can I give him some guidance on that?
You can. Are you up there with him?
Yep.
Okay.
What kind of check do you want for that?
What's your language? You can do an Arcana or Religion. Either one.
Common, Draconic, Giant, Orc.
Okay.
Oh, these look familiar.
Okay.
Do you know this language, Barry?
I think so. They look kind of celestial. I'll point out, what I can read.
Okay. As you point that out, Stig also is able to immediately recognize the runes written around. Do discuss what appears to be Helm as well as the name of Marikel. And the runes that are written there kind of describes Marikel as kind of one of the most potent and favored solars or angels in the service of Helm. And it speaks of him standing at Helm's right hand and carrying out the invincible will and defending the faithful against depredations of Bane, as well as other enemies of the faith. And the writing is kind of in a circle there, and so as you kind of read that, you recognize that this is the actual shield, or the picture of the shield, I should say. Sorry, of the from the vision that you had that fell from the heavens.
Interesting. I'll share that with the party. And then I'll, is that a little room up there on the right?
That is a little room up there.
I'll make sure there's nothing in there causing trouble.
Okay. While he's doing that, the rest of the party, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Just kind of looking around, picking up sticks.
Gonna check on the goblin.
Okay. You open up the door and you see the goblin is sitting outside. The gag is off, the hands are unbound, and he's working on his ankles. Rats! How you find me?
I go retie him up.
No!
I also ask the yellow horse how it expects to protect this place if it can only guard one door.
My task was to guard the southern door.
Were there two more of you before?
Always one. No more, no less.
Well, that's a cruel order.
Relena, I need a perception check as well. And Krinska says, I do what I'm ordered to do.
Well, surely you can see the futility of this.
Did you get that? You didn't get that, did you? Because you would have made a comment.
Did you say so?
I did. I must not have pushed the mouse. So Krinska looks at you and says, futility? You would do the same thing, wouldn't you, if you were ordered to do so by your god?
Oh, my god speaking to me would be such a rare event. I guess I would.
I suppose.
But do you question it?
I question nothing. I do what I'm told.
I guess that's where we're different. I would question that.
I suppose you would.
Oh, well.
Melton, what are you up to, buddy?
Man, I'm just hanging out watching what's going on here. I did throw an insight in there.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. I gotcha. Yep. Seems to be truthful. Stig, as you open up the door, you find in that room is mainly sort of rotted vestments and whatnot of Helm. It looks like, looking in here, that this room hasn't probably been opened in several hundred years.
All right, I'll tidy up the vestments. I'll work on doing that.
Okay.
I don't want those to rot away.
Alrighty. Barry, anything else for you up there?
No, I was following Stig around to see if there was anything I could help with.
Okay.
As I mend the vestments, maybe I'll hand them to Barry and ask him if she can clean them a little bit with her prestidigitation.
Okay. Alrighty.
Hey, Stig,
Yeah. What do you need, Relena?
you had mentioned something about in your dream about a shield, and then you had mentioned that on this altar there's a picture of the shield.
Yeah, it looks like the same shield.
Well, I was just kind of looking at it. I didn't touch anything, but I was just kind of looking, and that's not a picture. That is a shield that is embedded in the altar there.
Oh, it is? I'll go over and take a look.
So now that he points out the certain edges and whatnot, it does. It appears that there is a kind of a wood that covers sort of the edges of the shield and almost blends in completely to the top of it. That makes it look as if it's all altar itself. But you do see now that he points it out that there is a metal that's in the center of that shield.
I'll touch the shield.
So when you touch around the edges, you feel the wood of the actual table itself, but when you get to the circle in the center of the shield, there's a picture of Helm's symbol and then the writing around. The actual writing around it, you can feel cool metal as you touch the center of that, as well as the inscribed runes around the edges.
I'll try and lift the shield.
Yeah, give me a strength or athletics.
Is that a check?
It would be an athletics check, yep.
I'll put guidance on that.
Okay.
Guidance. I forgot to roll it earlier, sorry.
So, Stig, you feel around the edges and you can peel some of the wood away. And as you do, you see a giant ruin that's on the right side of or the left side of the shield. And on the left side of the shield, you recognize that ruin as the Ruin of Light, also known as Stig.
Ooh. Alright, I'll continue pulling the shield out.
So you continue to work your edges around and opening it up, and on the right side you see another giant ruin, and on that side of the ruin is death. You eventually kind of work out the shield, and as you do, you reach around the edges, and you feel something sharp along the edges of the shield itself, almost, and it's kind of dark and blazoned and kind of blackened. And as you pull the wood away, you see spikes or barbs that are surrounding the edges of the shield.
Does that look like the one in my dream?
It does.
Are you familiar with this, Barry?
It looks similar to the one that I dreamt about last night.
Matter of fact, Barry, the bottom of the shield, without the symbols and the runes and everything on it, looks exactly like the same shield.
There was also a sword to go along with this that had the same barbs.
Maybe it's underneath the shield. I'll try and lift the shield out. So
you're able to lift the shield out, you pull it up, and immediately as you pull it up, you do feel the the warmth of sun coming through, and you notice the roof now that there's what appears to be a hole, a small hole, likely the size of the shield itself, and the sun is kind of beating down on you as well as the shield and the altar as you kind of pull it up. Underneath, however, you don't see a sword.
Maybe the sword's around here.
Well, Stig, in your dream, you saw someone with the shield fall to the earth, and you had mentioned he continued to fall into the abyss, and the shield landed here. Did you notice that he had a sword with him?
Huh. I'll think back to my dream.
Yeah, so you do remember seeing him fighting with the sword because he was fighting Helm. However, you can't recall what happened to the sword. You only recall following the shield. So you're not sure if the sword had landed on the material plane or if it had gone to the abyss with him.
Yeah, I was concentrated on the shield because of the helm symbol, and I must have missed what happened to the sword. Maybe I'll ask the golden horse about it. I forgot his name.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, William and Melton, are you guys still outside or are you back inside?
We're still outside.
Okay, alrighty. Suddenly you see the sun has come down and is quite bright. As that happens, Corinius looks at you and says, "Till the next time," and slowly kind of disappears out into the I don't know, incorporeal plane or whatnot, and is now gone.
I guess he was relieved of duty.
He went to the upper planes.
Oh, well.
Corinius, Kenrin.
Kinren, yep.
I told you, I sent you a whisper. I said, dude, I know what that is. I just happened to have been looking up stuff for a celestial warlock today.
Yeah. That's a pretty impressive creature.
Damn, so is a Solinar. They're pretty badass.
Yep.
I'd walk in the temple and tell them he's gone.
All right. So as you walk in, you see Stig as well as Relina and Barry at the altar. Stig has just ripped the shield out and is holding it up and out of the altar, and you see broken wood of the altar laying around.
Hey, wasn't there a thorny thing in my memory? Was it a cape?
Yeah, so for you did. You had a picture of several humanoids with a helmet that had thorns on it. However, this is different than the horns that you see here.
Ah, whoa, there's more animalistic?
Yeah, more animalistic.
Ah,
More,
sounds like Vikings.
yeah, or even more dragon head-like.
Oh, draconic. Okay.
I'll leave my shield here. And,
Okay.
I'll take the shield. I think we've cleansed this area. It's no longer desecrated. We should be good to move on. Thank you for helping me with making Helm happy.
Do you think Helm will care or mind that you've taken the shield from here?
It looks like it was made for him.
Normally I would, but because it relieved the golden horse of his post, I think
Corinius.
Corinius, I think I did what Helm wanted. I think Helm secretly wanted me to have the shield. That's how I justify it.
Barry, I see you're over on the west side of the building there. You see there at the what looks like a large pew there. Underneath you see tomes that are kind of stacked up.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at them, see if there's anything interesting.
Yeah, so they're written in Celestial. They are very dense with material. However, it does speak of the Order of Helm as well as various other interesting sort of things that may or may not be of benefit.
Stick, do you mind if I take these tomes with us?
No, they were probably we were probably sent here for more than just me.
Okay, I will take them and
Okay. So you pick up, there's 3 tomes that are there. Pretty big books, but probably able to put them in the haversack if you wanted, or if you wanted to carry them in your own backpack, you could do that as well.
What, did Barry tell us what deity she worshipped?
Timora. I talk about her all the time.
Timora, right. Right. Wasn't
The
sure if
Lady
that
of
was a
Luck.
saint or a god.
Yeah, she talks about Timora, but we're going to convert her to Helm.
Look,
It's not as
Timora
good as
is making sure that we don't fumble all over the place most of the time.
Alright, I'm starting to make the connection, DM. Draconic helms.
You are, huh?
Form.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here.
All right, gotcha. I'm trying.
William's light bulb is turning on.
I'm trying. This is about as homebrewish as you get, so I'm trying.
not as good as called to run smooth hands.
Are we ready to head out? We can bar the southern doors on the way out, I guess.
I wonder if the temple is still active now. Pretty abandoned.
It's a symbol of Helm. We'll leave it as is, and maybe Helm will return to this place.
Did we see any settlements close, or is it just, you
No,
know?
it's literally a temple in the middle of the woods. In the last half day of your travel, you have not seen any settlements, and you did go kind of northwest of the, even though you're going north, you kind of veered off to the west, so you're not even near the Bartright Inn. So, you know, you figure you're probably another half a day to a day away from Bartright Inn. This is literally in the middle of nowhere.
Does this place look ancient?
It does. Looks like it was probably been here for eons and eons.
Ah, a retired temple. Okay. Alright.
Barry, when you read those tomes, can you tell me the stories of Helm in them?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
I plan to spend some time studying them in the evenings when we rest.
Okay. Sounds good. So your 2 hours of whatever your free time would be reading those, I assume?
Mhm.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, I think I'm good here.
Alright.
Where to? Oh, I apologize. As you guys are about ready to leave, I forgot there's other stuff here. You do find Relina as well as Melton and whatnot. As you kind of search around and whatnot, you find there's a couple scrolls that were laying there, as well as a few bottles of what appears to be potions.
I'll gather up what I can.
Sounds good.
So, did William take the talking doll so that he can snuggle with it in the evenings?
We're just holding on for that for now. I'm sure we'll find a use for it.
You do see it kind of hanging out of his pocket, though. It's kind of hanging there, and he sort of pushes it in when he says that, probably. All right, where to next?
I guess we'd go to that inn for information.
All right. As you do leave the temple, you see that as you move further through the somewhat wooded area that's there, the clouds now seem to sort of be forming, and the wind is kind of picking up, and you do hear occasional lightning strikes behind you from what sounds like a large storm that's gathering. And there's distant thunder, and you hear the distant howls behind you. They sound probably, maybe a quarter of a mile away, but it sounds like multiple different howls from different directions, both to the back right and the back left of you. So the southwest and the southeast.
Can we discern if they're coming toward us, or they're just kind of doing their thing?
As you continue to walk for the next 10 to 15 minutes, they don't seem to be getting any closer, but they don't seem to be getting any farther away. They sound like they're probably moving in the same general direction as you. As this As you continue, now the rain starts to fall down, and the lightning strikes are ever so closer and increasing in intensity.
I have a bad feeling about the howls and such. Can we? I can either stealth myself, hide.
Cut out.
Can find anything.
I mean, gnolls are fast, but are they faster than horses?
So horses can only gallop for an hour, and then they would have to slow back down again to normal pace.
How long can people do that?
So the funny thing about 5e is it's the same speed whether you're on a horse or you're walking.
Oh.
Weird, right? Unless you have horses to fresh horses every hour to change out of.
Yeah, every 8 miles. Every 8 miles you have to change out your horses. But your horse can go double the speed for at least 1 hour.
Right.
And it can carry
Yep.
like 400 pounds or something like that.
Well, we should see if we can just outrun them. Nice and simple.
Does this storm look unnatural?
It does.
Oh, I'll check, like to check the skies to see if there's like any like flying fortresses or anything like that.
So you do notice a flying fortress. However, the fortress that you see is not in the actual storm clouds themselves. You see it off to the far east. You do see kind of a wispy white cloud. There's a large castle on it. That castle, however, does not have a hat on it. It seems to be going towards the north.
Everything's in the north.
Is it going where we're going?
You guys are sort of heading in a northeasterly direction. It appears to be heading in a northerly direction. The storm clouds are literally kind of around you in sort of a 3-mile circle, but you see the skies out to the other direction has normal light and appearance.
We do not want to deal with that castle right now. Sounds like a storm giant. Hence the storm.
Yes, but don't we need to head in that direction?
Oh, we're going in a more northeast direction to the inn. Hopefully it's not going to the same place.
So after about an hour to an hour and a half of travel, the storm above starts to sort of dissipate. You feel the uneasiness of the drenching rain as well as the cool, cold wind, which was pretty unnatural for the area considering that it's the middle of the summer. And the howling of the wolves or the dogs type sound seems to sort of dissipate as you continue to travel. It's becoming closer and closer to dusk, and you see a large city, or not a city, you see a large walled area, buildings up ahead. As you assume that that's probably the Bardrite area, as well as heading towards a large, you can see the Desert River again, which is fairly close.
That's a big inn.
It's kind of like a city within an inn within a city, but they call it an inn because that's just what everybody calls it.
Is it that big old building back there with the spiky tops?
The big old one. Yep, that's the one. You do see, even in the distance, you see what looks like birds, but they're actually bats that are flying by.
Oh yeah, this place is near, what's it called?
Wamford or something like that?
Wamford, yep.
Yeah, so I wonder if the Bat of Wamford is here.
Well, maybe we should get inside so we don't have to encounter it.
Alright. Does it have a gate, or can we just stroll on in?
Actually has a map.
What, a grid? Ah.
No grade yet. And it has funny symbols in the four corners. So as you come in, this appears to be what used to be kind of a hilltop wayside inn, but the site has become a walled community, and it has appears to be ramshackled and often rebuilt wooden towers and buildings now entirely cover the hill that you see there. You do see Wamford, which is across the river, and you notice that there's multiple buildings there, but there's no walls or anything, and they're all the windows are barred and the doors are all closed over there. There's no light at all. As you get close, you get the smell of kind of reeking manure and kind of filthy mud that's there. They do have gates that are there and are currently closed. You do see several guards that are sitting there, and you see that the leader of the guard appears to have what looks like a snake with small wings on it.
I'm tired of these snakes with small wings.
Yeah, it seems like they are just everywhere.
Man, yeah, I don't like them either.
I wonder if
Yeah,
they've
me either.
taken control of this town, just like Nightstone.
What does the snake with small wings mean?
It's that one faction.
Zarethium? Ah, boy.
Oh,
It's
Zentarum.
Zentarum.
Oh,
Yeah, they're jerks, I think.
I've not had any dealings with them.
We have down in Nightstone. They didn't attack us or anything, but they did take over what we think. We think they took over the town of Nightstone.
Yeah, they're taking all the credit for what we did there. Well, hopefully they just let us in.
So as you continue to walk up to the gates on your horses and whatnot, you see one of the guards comes over and he says, "Name your business."
We're just looking for a place to stay for a bit. Specifically the inn.
Place to stay?
Yes, we heard that Shalaska runs the Barge Right Inn, and it's quite a nice place to stay. Quite hospitable.
Huh. Charlaska? Really? I think your information is incorrect.
Oh.
You want an Alaska. Yeah, an Alaska Thailond.
That does sound more correct. A mispronunciation.
I'm sick.
Well, anyways, well, good news is you've made it before sunset. However, it's pretty close. You're able to come in, but it's 2 gold apiece
For what?
to enter the inn, or to enter the barge right, for protection
Protection from what?
from the wombat, or the Wamford bat. Nobody stays outside the walls at night. It's not safe. Can't you see Wamford over there? It's all bundled up already.
The Wamford bat? We've heard of that. Is it really a problem?
Let me put it this way. Nothing enters or leaves these gates once nightfall comes. We close the gates and nobody goes in or out.
Let's see. 2 gold each. Alright.
That sounds a little, like, excessive. Are you sure that's the fee?
Listen, if you don't like the fee, you could sleep outside the gates. 2 gold each.
You know what? Yeah, let me talk to you. If we're here and we're helping people, and you look like a mighty nice gentleman. I think you could lower your price a little bit for great adventurers like ourselves.
Sure,
I'll
I'll
lean
lower it.
over and whisper. It's like, just something to give him guidance.
Good, because he's going to need all the guidance he can get. So you kind of try to help coax him along, and he says, "You're right. 3 gold apiece. Adventurers, my you know what.
What did
Good
you?
sir.
Oh God.
Good sir. We are adventurers that are trying to free the lands of the giants and ogres and orcs and such. And maybe if we could help you with your bat issue, maybe you could let us stay here for the evening.
Who do you work for? You're not Zentarum. I could tell by looking at you. Are you one of those squashy harpers? I bet you are.
What makes you think I'm not Zentarum?
Not you. I know you're Zentarum. Look at your skin, your grayed skin. You're from the Underdark. I'm talking about that girl over there, the one that's offering to help me. You don't match the rest of these people in this group. I can tell. You're different.
Yes, I am. I'm a protector of these lands, of the forests and those who live in them.
I think the Zentarum is doing well enough to protect these lands. As you can see, we've built these great walls. Nobody in this town has been hurt. I'm not sure what you mean by protecting of the lands. The Womford Bat's still attacking, isn't it?
Well, that's why I offer maybe our services might be of use to you.
Sure, we'll take your services after having a commission of 3 gold apiece.
And fireball.
Well, we're not here to look trouble with another faction. Let's just pay up. It's chump change anyways.
Well, let's see. Do I have enough copper pieces to pay this?
I offer them the 15 gold.
He takes it and he says, please, help yourself in. The inn is a wonderful place. The guard comes
Is it
over.
snowy here?
No, it's there's no grass and there's no trees or anything. It's literally the earth is barren right along in here. There's been so much travel and they don't have any sort of green at all, which probably drives Rolinia nuts.
So these empty spaces, like, what's all this empty space right here?
Probably for cattle or something like that.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. This is a prominent road for traveling things from the east heading towards Waterdeep into Neverwinter. And so they have areas where they would, caravans could come and set up and whatnot. And you do see caravans that are in here kind of scattered about. There's not very many, though, as you're kind of walking in. You notice that. And you hear the guard captain goes over and he says, 3 gold. You could have got 5 gold apiece from that sorry lot. Adventurers. And they close the gate behind and lock it.
Damn snakes. Oh well, we're in. That's all that matters. Now, which one of these buildings is the inn?
Before we go, I cast Silent Image to look like a giant bat shadow in the sky flying overhead. And I'm like, look up and I'm like, what is that?
They all look and the guards are like, it's the bat! It's the bat! You see him fire a bunch of arrows.
Yep, I cast Mage Hand, and the guy who that took our money, I'm going to try to pick his pocket.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand.
With my Mage Hand away from him. Oh.
If I saw Milton cast that image,
Yeah.
I'll use Minor Illusion to make it start screaming.
Hopefully I could get advantage with it since I was distracting him with the bat. I don't know. We'll see. Or if I need it.
Barry, suddenly you have a quick image of what you see as a coin spinning back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And as the coin starts to fall down, you hear a very familiar voice say, the Chosen One needs help.